Hello and welcome back to GP Film Review. Today I'm reviewing Twisters, another hyped up blockbuster 90s sequel. Now for the film synopsis, it states, haunted by a devastating encounter with a tornado, Kate Cooper gets lured back into the open plains by her friend Javi to test a groundbreaking new tracking system. She soon crosses paths with Tyler Owens, a charming but reckless social media superstar who thrives on posting his storm-chasing adventures. As storm season intensifies, Kate, Tyler, and their competing teams find themselves in a fight for their lives as multiple systems converge over central Oklahoma. I would say that this film was a spectacle deserving of a trip to the theaters. It had a lot of great moments and characters, but also had a couple head-scratching moments as well. Speaking of the characters, I actually enjoyed the characters in this film. Glenn Powell does a great job. It seems like he's been typecasted at this point, but he always brings a stellar performance for every role he's given, and this one is no different. I do think that the general audience will get used to it, though, and it will prevent him from getting recognized for his efforts. However, I did hear a rumor that he was potentially getting casted as Batman in the Brave and the Bold James Gunn DCU film. I'm not sure if he could pull it off, but he's a great actor, and we have seen other actors pull off Batman when we didn't think that they could, with Robert Pattinson. I also want to shout out David Corenswet. He is still fairly unknown, but next year I think he's going to knock it out of the park as Superman. He takes every role seriously, and I think he could be potentially better than Henry Cavill. Anthony Ramos did a great job too. I really enjoyed the character growth he showed throughout the film. Great characters make great films, and this film had a lot of them. I personally thought the story kind of fell flat halfway through the film, and it felt like a new movie was starting. It kind of got slow until the final act, but every single tornado scene was astounding. If I were to change anything in this film, I think I would have tried to pace the story a little differently in order to keep the audience attention. But that's pretty much all the improvements I would suggest. Speaking of storytelling and pacing, this film does a good job in terms of story. It has a clear purpose, and it keeps that in mind throughout. I do think the pacing could have been a little better, as it seemed that the film had the intro, and then it had action, and then it got to the middle where the pacing kind of slowed down. And the story, which normally goes up and down like a roller coaster, kind of flatlined for a little bit. And I think that it caused to bring the film down just a little bit, but overall it was still really good. I think that the sound in this film was good. It elevated every scene well enough. I do think that it could have been a lot better if they bumped up the sound and made the sounds of the storm and tornadoes overpower the dialogue a little more. It would have felt more theatrical and real, much like the sound in Top Gun Maverick. That would have made this film one of the best films of the year, but it was still a really good film. I do want to mention how the science in this film was kind of inconsistent. It's definitely a fictional story, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but definitely not a realistic movie in a sense. Having a tornado neutralizer fail 3 times in a row and then have game-changing new information that you implement but not test, and then go to the biggest, most devastating tornado that is headed towards a town, and you try it on the first try after implementing the new changes, and it finally works. Definitely not realistic, but it was entertaining for sure. Not sure if I would watch this outside of a theater, as this is a film meant to be seen in theaters, but I really enjoyed it, and I would give this film a 7 out of 10. Great characters, a story that worked pretty well, and it had really great visuals. I do wish they would have focused a little more on the sound, and like I said earlier, not a very realistic film, but I would definitely recommend going to see this in theaters if you can. All right, that is it. Make sure to like and subscribe, as I will be releasing a Deadpool and Wolverine review on Friday. I'm very excited about this film. I think it has the potential to overtake Dune Part 2 for Best Film of the Year, and I think it's going to have a big impact on the superhero genre, as the superhero genre has seemed to be dying down recently, but I think that this will bring it back close to what it was 5-6 years ago. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.